All right, welcome to your Medtech Brief for October. And what a month it's been. We're seeing this massive split, a huge divergence in the global regulatory world. So let's just dive right in, because honestly, what's happening on each side of the Atlantic could define your entire strategy for Q4 and probably well beyond.
So October is really a tale of two completely different markets. It's almost night and day. Over in the United States, we're looking at operational paralysis. I mean, a complete standstill. But then you look at Europe, and we're getting strategic clarification. It's complex, for sure, but there's a definite path forward. Two totally different stories for one global industry. Let's tackle the American side first.
So we're starting in the US, where the story is just one of a sudden, dramatic halt. You know, calling it the Great Freeze of October isn't being dramatic. It's pretty much the reality for anyone trying to get a new product through the pipeline right now.
And here's the bottom line. As of October 1st, because of the federal government shutdown, the FDA's new product pipeline is, for all intents and purposes, frozen solid. And I want to be clear, this isn't just a slowdown, it is a full stop for new medical technology that's seeking approval.
So let's get into the specifics of what this shutdown actually means on the ground. The FDA is literally not allowed to accept new user fee payments. And that means all new 510Ks and PMAs halted. Just stopped in their tracks. Routine GMP inspections, good manufacturing practices, they're paused too. And you can just imagine the massive backlog that's going to create. Now, there are a couple of small silver linings. Reviews that were already paid for and in the works will continue, but only until the money runs out. And thankfully, mission-critical safety monitoring is still up and running.
Okay, so now let's hop across the pond to Europe, and you'll see a completely different picture taking shape. While the US is just stuck, Europe is moving ahead, defining a new and, very complex set of rules for the future of medtech.
Okay, so the first major development you need to know about, the European Commission's call for evidence on simplifying the medical device regulation, or MDR, that officially closed on October 6th. So what does this mean for you? It means the time for just sending in general feedback is over. The game has totally changed. It's now all about direct, active lobbying to actually influence the wording of the new legislative proposal.
So, what is the industry pushing for? Well, the feedback that came in showed this overwhelming consensus around three key things. First up, proportionality. Basically, making the rules actually match the risk of the device. Common sense, right? Second, predictability. So that getting certified by a notified body is a reliable, cost-efficient process you can actually plan for. And third, and this is a big one, a serious burden reduction to just slash the mountains of redundant paperwork.
But really, the biggest news out of Europe this month, the thing you really need to pay attention to, comes from this landmark guidance on the new EU AI Act. This is from the Medical Device Coordination Group, the MDCG, and their guidances are critical. Just let this sink in. If your medical device uses AI and it needs a third-party assessment under the MDR, so think Class IIa and up, it is automatically classified as a high-risk AI system. This is an absolute game changer, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And this brings us to a critical new concept you've got to get your head around: dual compliance. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Your AI-enabled device doesn't just have to meet the MDR anymore. Nope. It now has to meet the full requirements of the brand new EU AI Act at the same time. It is a whole new layer of regulatory work.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how in the world do we even begin to tackle this? Well, the guidance actually gives us a pretty clear starting point. First, you have to integrate the AI Act's requirements directly into your existing quality management system, your ISO 13485. And second, you have to update your risk management file, your ISO 14971, to specifically call out and address the new risks that come with using AI.
You know, with all this talk of shutdowns and new regulations, it's so easy to lose sight of why we're even in this industry in the first place. So for just a moment, let's push the bureaucracy aside and look at a stunning breakthrough that reminds us of the incredible potential we're all working towards.
I want you to meet the Candy Wafer. This was just published in Nature Biomedical Engineering, and it's incredible. It's a biodegradable, drug-eluting implant designed to stop the recurrence of glioblastoma, one of the deadliest brain cancers out there. They place it in the brain after a tumor is removed, and it actually reprograms the body's own immune system to hunt down and kill any cancer cells left behind.
And the impact here is it's profound. On the socioeconomic side, this could be a total paradigm shift, right? Moving from costly, repeated treatments to actual prevention. And then there's the ecological side. Because the implant is fully biodegradable, it doesn't require a second surgery to remove it. That dramatically reduces surgical waste and the risk to the patient. I mean, this is the future. This is why we do what we do.
Okay, so feeling inspired by what's possible? Good. Let's bring that energy back to the reality of what's on your desk right now. This final section is all about turning the intelligence from this explainer into an immediate, concrete action plan for your executive teams.
All right, for those of you focused on Europe, here's your playbook. 3 things. 1. Act. Get your head of QA/RNA to start a gap analysis on that new AI guidance immediately, like today. 2. Strategize. Get your trade associations on the phone and pivot from just giving feedback to active, targeted lobbying on MDR reform. And 3. Evaluate. You need to form a team to assess the opportunities in the new European health data space, the EHDS, and figure out how that data can fuel your AI and R&D pipelines.
And for the US-focused executives, your playbook is about survival and being smart with your resources. 1. Act. Triage your submission pipeline right now. You need to know exactly what's frozen and what might be safe for now. 2. Reforecast. Run the numbers. Model what a 30, 60, or even a 90-plus day shutdown does to your cash flow. And 3. Redirect. Use this downtime wisely. Reallocate your regulatory teams to do deep dive internal audits and get ready for the upcoming QMSR transition. That's the new quality management system regulation. Don't waste this time.
Which brings us right back to where we started. The medtech world is living 2 completely different stories at the same time. One is a story of paralysis, and the other is a story of progress. And really, the strategic choices you make this week, based on everything we just talked about, will determine which of those stories becomes your reality.